One of the most effective strategies for accumulating Bitcoin is also the simplest. Dollar cost averaging. Many of you may have heard of this technique where you are basically just on a recurring basis putting the same fixed amount of fiat in every week, every month, whatever the cadence is, but you're doing it consistently. And this is particularly, I think, even more important during bull markets like where we find ourselves than bear markets. Bear markets, you're sort of like a little bit switched off and you're kind of like, okay, I'm just going to let this thing do its thing. I know I'm buying it, better prices than when Bitcoin price is way up. And in the bull market, we kind of tend to get antsy and we're like, oh, I'm just going to ape in. I'm going to stop. Like, do you? More Bitcoin is better than less Bitcoin for sure. But the discipline of a DCA is the simplest way to consistently accumulate sats. And today I'm going to show you my favorite way for doing this as a recurring buy in Bitcoin Well. I love Bitcoin Well. I've done a video on this exchange last year. The reason I personally use this is they do not keep your Bitcoin, right? Like they don't want it. It is automatic self-custody, right? You have to put in an address of your own so that as soon as you buy, that's where it's going. So they're not holding your Bitcoin. They're really upholding this ethos of self-custody, which I think is so important. And it's frankly the best place to buy Bitcoin, right? It's much cheaper than, Coinbase. You're going to get these huge blown out, not just spreads on Coinbase, but also you get extra transaction fees layered on top of that. With Bitcoin Well, you just get the spread. And so again, I think it's a no-brainer. If you're in the US and Canada, this is for you. For others, unfortunately, Bitcoin Well is not available to you yet. But if you want this, you should let them know. With all that, let's jump in and show how to do this. Okay, so I am logged into my Bitcoin Well dashboard. If you are brand new to Bitcoin Well, you can use my referral link, bitcoinwell.com/referral/RagerMajor. I will put this, of course, in the description down below. You will get extra chances to win up to 1 million sats. When you join, you will get these points that you can then use in their Wishing Well feature, which is actually pretty cool. You can play the Wishing Well and redeem your points for a chance to win 1 million sats. So that is pretty cool. So if you're going to sign up, you definitely want to do that. Again, bitcoinwell.com/referral/RagerMajor. You put in your email and they will walk you through the onboarding and setup process. Keep in mind that this is still going to require KYC, right? Bitcoin Well is an exchange, right, that you would sort of normally go through that process. However, as we will see, when you buy Bitcoin, they are not keeping it. It's going to your own self-custody. So that's what makes them really unique. So let's come back to our dashboard. Once you've gone through the setup process, and again, I've done a past video on that whole thing if you want to watch that sort of step by step, but I think you'll find it is pretty straightforward. And once you're on your dashboard, there's a couple different ways that we can set up a recurring buy. You can see this nice handy link here. By the way, for those of you that want to establish an initial position in some, bigger size and then maybe also set up your recurring buy, they do have this OTC desk now. You can see Bitcoin Well Infinite. That is for like large, transactions. If you're looking to do that, you can do that at a lower cost through their OTC desk than you would be able to do through the sort of normal portal here. But in any case, a couple different ways we can set up the recurring buy. You see this quick link here. You can also just go to buy Bitcoin on the left. So let's go ahead and click into this. It's going to give you that price at the top. That is including the spread, right? That has the 1.2% spread baked in. No other extra fees. So that is a beautiful thing. And there's really just a couple different settings that we're going to establish. One is the source from which our fiat will come. So I can go ahead. I do have a little bit of a cash balance here, but I'm actually going to connect my bank account. And for those of you that have done this in other exchanges, you'll see it looks very similar. For those of you that haven't, you can easily connect your bank account using Plaid in this case. So it's going to prompt you to put in the phone number associated with your bank account, and then you can go through the sort of process there. So I'm going to do that and be right back. Okay, so we've got our funding source set up. Now we will also need a wallet, and you can see I have a couple already set up. I've got a Lightning wallet, which we will look at in a different video. You can withdraw straight to Lightning, which is very, very cool. I've got my cold storage wallet. But let's say that maybe you're brand new, right? And you don't have a wallet of your own. You can set one up pretty easily. If you want to do that on desktop, I would recommend Sparrow Wallet. So you can go to sparrowwallet.com, download this. I've done whole tutorials. Sparrow is pretty feature packed, so don't get intimidated. But again, here is the Sparrow interface. So let's say you download Sparrow, you say file, you say new wallet. I'm just going to say Bitcoin well, create the wallet. Don't worry about any of this stuff here. You can keep it single sig. And we're going to just do new or imported software wallet. So this third option. Now, what I would recommend is having a hardware device, right? I've done all sorts of tutorials, Foundation Passport, Blockstream Jade, Cold Card. There's many, many, many videos on my channel for a good hardware wallet that you can get and connect that here. That would be the sort of best practice. But that should not stop you from taking self-custody initially. And so you can create what's called a hot wallet here with this third option. And we will say use 24 words here at the top. We'll click that. And we're going to say generate new. And so this is going to generate a series of words. And you will need to write this down because it is going to quiz you. Now, please never, ever, if you're newer to this, do not ever share this with anyone. If anyone has these words, it is as good as having your Bitcoin. So I am obviously not going to actually, use this seed for real value. But what you would want to do is write these words down, keep them in a secure place. There's steel plates now that you can kind of, write these things in, which would be fire resistant and things like that. And so once you've written it down, and then you can say confirm backup, have these 24 words been written down? Yes. And we can then re-enter them. So it is going to test you, and we'll just quickly run through this. Okay, once you've re-entered the words, you can hit create key store. And we will say import key store. Again, don't worry about the kind of nomenclature there. All we've done is we've used Sparrow to create a private key. If you're curious for how private keys get derived into this series of words, I've done a whole video on that as well. But with all this set up, we can go ahead and hit apply here in the bottom right. You should add a password. This is local to your machine, right? So if someone were to get your laptop and open Sparrow Wallet, they would need this password even to get into it. I'm just going to say no password for this demonstration purposes, but in reality, you would definitely want to add one. And so now we've got our Sparrow wallet set up. You can also do this on mobile. Blue Wallet is a good choice there. In either case, you're downloading this wallet software, you're creating a seed, and you are then going to the receive tab and copying your address. So this is the address that we can now put into our destination wallet, right? So we've created our own wallet, and we can add a wallet, and let's just say, recurring by, whatever we want to call it, doesn't matter. And we will paste that address in. Again, you could have put a Lightning address in there as well, which is really cool. We'll do another video in the future on that. I'll hit add. And now we are ready. So we can basically say, let's select our bank as the source. We need to enter, obviously, an amount here at the top. Let's just say I want to do, $10 weekly, whatever it is, right? Whatever is right for you. Now, what I would say is if you're going to do a smaller amount like this, it could be best to actually send this to a Lightning wallet. I've done a whole video about how you want to be thoughtful about the size of your UTXOs or chunks of Bitcoin that your wallet is receiving. As on-chain fees, transaction fees go up in the future, there may come a time when some of these really small, sort of UTXOs are problematic. So you could do, a bigger amount monthly or a smaller amount via Lightning. For purposes, again, of this demo, I'm just going to keep it with 10 for now. And I'm going to select my recurring buy wallet. There it is. And frequency, instead of one time, which you're certainly welcome to do, let's say weekly. And, let's start tomorrow, Friday, whatever. Confirm. And we'll go to review. It'll play back all the details. So we're going to buy $10 every single week, starting tomorrow. Funding source, destination, confirm. All right. Congrats. So your recurring buy is all set up. And that is it. You can now go to sleep soundly, knowing that you are stacking sats on an ongoing basis and simultaneously and automatically withdrawing that to your own self-custody. You can see this helpful little timer of like, hey, this is when the next buy is happening, etc., etc. So there you have it. We walked through how to set up a recurring buy in Bitcoin Well, my personal favorite exchange. And we quickly showed how to create your own wallet if that is something that you haven't done previously. Again, if you're interested in getting this set up yourself and getting onto Bitcoin Well, you can use my referral link to get yourself some extra chances to earn up to 1 million bonus sats as you sign up. Let me know any questions in the description down below. But I hope you found this valuable and insightful. If you did, you already know what to do. Give this video a like. Use the share feature underneath this video. That really does help get this to a broader audience. And I think Bitcoin Well really is deserving of that wider audience. And if you were so enamored with this content, you want to donate some sats to a pleb, which really does help me continue to make these videos. You can do so in a number of ways. You can use the YouTube Super Thanks feature built directly into YouTube, or my preference, you can zip some sats my way on the Lightning Network to my Lightning address, ragermajor@getalby.com. For those of you that want to get in touch with me, I'm working with a number of folks one-on-one with all sorts of things from setting up, multi-sig, self-custody, running your own node, Bitcoin privacy best practices, and more. You can reach out to me at vita.io/Ian Major. With all that, we'll go ahead and leave things here. As a reminder, every sat counts, especially if it's going straight to your self-custody. And until next time, my friends, I'll see you then.